Hey everybody, this is Alzorath and welcome to GamerFi. Today we're taking a look at Lost Sea, a game by East Asia Soft coming out on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC at different dates. As of the release of this, it should already be out on Xbox One, and we are going to be seeing the release of the PlayStation 4 and PC version on July 5th, which I hope to have this out before that. But anyway, that kind of junk out of the way, let's go ahead and actually play the game, and I'll talk about pros and cons of its current design. It's not a terrible game. It does get a little bit grindy, but we do have a decent number of selection of characters here. I'm going to go with the bearded half-naked guy just because, but you can see that there is quite a variety here. You've got a couple females, you've even got an Amelia Earhart back there, and the order of them is a little bit random, so you don't always get them in the same order. So let's go ahead and jump in as the half-naked bearded guy, because why not? As far as where we're going to jump in, I'm going to go ahead and jump in on the tutorial because it goes over the majority of the mechanics you're going to encounter in this game. So, yeah, you'll notice that some of my bonuses from tablets before did carry over, so I get a little bit of resources from that, and we're just going to go ahead and jump through all of the dialogue here. It'll pop up a decent amount. We've got our nice little backpack there. Controls are actually quite smooth. You can move the camera really nicely. I am using an Xbox controller, so yeah, an Xbox One controller to be precise, to play this. I haven't tried it with the keyboard, but there are some issues that I've ran into. There is an issue with, since I have multiple controllers put in, I actually have to use the keyboard to use certain items, but it's rare to actually have to do that, and it's likely to do with the controller conflicts. Conflicts? That's an entirely different game, but the issues between the multiple controllers. So most people are not going to run into that, but that is a thing that I feel slightly worth noting for those of you that do keep like Super Nintendo and Genesis controllers attached to your PC. But as you can see, you're going to go around, you're going to be breaking mostly terrain. There is a bit of combat in this as well. It's a little bit more prevalent than you're going to see in the tutorial area, and the tutorial area is of a fixed format, whereas everywhere else is randomly generated. So you do have a lot of different distinct areas to kind of wander through. Here we have a little dodo bird that we're going to have to kill. It's going to get a little mad at us, but yeah, it's not too hard to kill him. And we're going to go ahead and meet up with our first NPC. This guy is not going to follow us, but he's going to be kind of like a key component that travels from area to area. There is no jump button, so you may be wondering how we're going to get that key. That actually will come later. Most doors are destructible. I don't think you can actually open doors other than the ones that require a key. So yeah, that is a thing. We'll end up venturing through these other areas fairly soon. That's one reason why I'm not wandering too far off the path. We do want to get as much gold as possible, though, so I do want to do that. But over here, we'll get a little bit more dialogue. It's going to explain how we are actually people who have gotten sucked into an interdimensional portal to what is essentially the Bermuda Triangle. And yeah, we'll just skip on through that. We get a little lantern. Yeah, just basic stuff there. Lantern, I don't know why they go through such like a grandiose way of revealing the lantern. It just automatically comes on and off. There isn't like a button for it that I know of, so yeah, that's a little bit of a thing there. You definitely want to come up here and get gold, though, if you do want to go through. And I'm going to go get the first kind of teammate that we have. You can have up to 4 additional party members in addition to your main character, but you are the only one capable of actual direct combat. So that is something that I think should be changed. I would love it if you could possibly recruit combat like assistant characters other than just boosting your damage. There is a key that they will give you additional damage with. I don't think the one we're going to find is going to have it. They do have random attributes, so I'm pretty sure this guy's just going to have a bridge building and a few others. Yeah, bridge building, locksmith, and tough. Yeah. And if we help him escape, we can get a whole bunch of stuff. We can open the map, which is... It's a decent map, but I don't like the level of detail. I think it's a little bit low for what you're going to be using it for. I mean, you can see where your plane crashed and stuff like that and where the key is, but let's go ahead and grab them. And if we get into like combat, which we probably will in this area. If I remember correctly, I've done a few runs to really format my opinion as to whether this game is worth purchasing or not. Personally, I think the game is worth looking at if you have the time to spend on it. It's one of those games that it's going to take an hour for you to reach a sort of a checkpoint area. So yeah, it takes time invested to really reach kind of those humps that you really need to reach to make any real progress on it, which is a bit frustrating. So let's go ahead and bust that open and knock down these. There's an enemy there. Here's pretty much how combat goes. You'll notice that whenever I engage with this guy, my little companion hunkers down. That is an actual mechanic. Another thing I'm going to point out, and I'm purposely getting him next to this bush for this, is you can hit your friends and it deals damage. So you will accidentally kill some of your teammates if you are not careful. Especially whenever you first start this. I think that is a terrible mechanic. There is a way to get them not to take damage whenever they're hunkered down, but yeah, that's a ways off because I'll have to show you guys the skill tree. Skill tree is multi-tiered and you utilize 2 currencies. You may have noticed I gather gold as well as a green kind of orb currency as well. Those are your 2 main currencies for developing, and I do need to get my crew to pick that up. Yeah, tablets are how we travel, by the way. That's one reason why he's picking that up. But, yeah, the skills are split in a weird way. I think it's a little bit odd. And can be a little bit frustrating. We've got these little enemies here. These take a few hits to kill, but they're your, yeah, accidentally hitting your guy there. They're, still not too terribly bad. Most of the enemies I've encountered aren't really that big of a pain in the butt once you've figured out their patterns. And here's one of the item things. Sadly, my left button on the actual controller... Oh, wait, never mind. They fixed it. Yay, the patch we downloaded earlier today must have fixed that. Thank you. So that bug isn't actually there anymore. Yeah, that was a very nice patch by them, I guess. It downloaded like right before I started recording this. So it's good to see they are actually fixing any problems you may have encountered in this game. So that is a definite plus. I still do wish that there was a faster way to get to kind of the boss areas. Because in each of my playthroughs, it's taken me an hour plus to get through the map. And the map was the initial thing we saw back there. That does kind of bother me. But let's drop this off and we will have our first companion. Go ahead and put the table in the map. Boom. And they do disappear, and there are situations where you're going to get multiple tablets that can be used to adjust how you move throughout the islands. So if you get like 3 tablets, you'll have 3 different choices as to how you move. If you only have 1, you will be basically forced to move forward that many spots. In this case, I think we have a 2-point tablet or something like that. But here's the skills. The treasure vault, I don't think actually does anything. I think the goal is just to gather all the treasures, but it seems kind of pointless to me. But in here we have the upgrades. These are the ones that you can buy for gold. These are upgrades to your ship that changes how you can kind of modify things. Personally, I'm wanting this one. This is going to cheapen the other skills, but before I do that, player skills cost experience, which is the green orbs. And you can see that there's different things that require different amounts. To get more than just like one party member with you, you have to unlock these leadership things. I think their price should go down and possibly have the crew be a little bit weaker starting out and have them grow as you go through, because there's actually skills in here that allow you to get additional, like an additional segment of stamina for yourself, but you also have ways to teach your guys new stuff as you're moving through, which is a little bit of an important thing. These are done through ship upgrades. You have the cabin one, of course, which allows you to reduce the XP, but then you have things moving through here, learning new skills up to a maximum of 4, chance of crew members recovering their halo, which is a different mechanic, that's a revival mechanic, and etc, etc. But we're going to grab this, and it's going to reduce the cost by a small portion, but that's probably the first thing you ever want to get on this. So now we only have to get 900 experience to get a second party member, which is not bad. Let's go ahead and leave the island. I'll show you guys the navigation thing, and we'll show you a randomly generated island as well, since that kind of gives you the mechanics of you talk to these certain number of people, and you can go to this certain number of areas, and it gives you the difficulty of the various maps. If we go ahead and look through it, you can see that there's a bunch of hard ones there, and then there's the boss of this island strip there, and then you'll move on to the next area after that. So let's go ahead and grab this island. We got a 2 distance tablet, which is what gave us this, and we immediately start out having to dodge our little friend there so he doesn't get whacked in the face by our machete. But most of the abilities on the other one are not exactly super useful. Like it telling you where the crew members are and stuff like that, not really that useful because you're going to probably figure it out yourself as you're venturing around the map. There's a frog, and you don't want to step in those things. Boop, there you go. Frogs are relatively easy to kill, but they hop up and they'll aim for your crewmates rather than you. This is almost the extent of enemy variety. You have the little charging red guys, you have the kind of goblin guys that pop out, and you have these large lumbering guys that do an AoE. And that's pretty much all the enemies in this first area. Enemy variety, not too enthralling, and yes, your guys will have issues getting caught on various terrain features. You notice that I am getting plus 10 in a little green thing there. That's not experience, that's actually me getting fruit that sometimes drops from these little bushes. And you want to dodge, and he's going to take damage from that stupid frog. Yeah, I'm just letting him die. You do get a pretty good representation of your friend's life through their little heart icon. And you do want to watch what you're cutting, otherwise you're going to get trap barrels as well, which are pretty easily indicated with the little warning sign on the side of them. Hey, you can get mad all you want, but you're still gonna die. Trying to find you the last little guy. He looks kind of like our guy, except for big. So, it's not too bad. I don't think there's any like undead or anything like this in this first area. There are ways to like dig up treasures. There's various skills to unlock chests, like you can see on the guy that we have. There's toughness, there's revival. There are also damage boost ones that you get damage boost based on the number of allies you have. We probably will run across an ally up here if I had to guess. We can press select, and yeah, you can see that I ran past one back there, and I will eventually discover it as I fully explore the individual areas. Like down there we have a little bit of those little crates there. But let's go ahead and talk to this guy, and we'll look at this. He has tough and strength in numbers. Not really abilities that I want, but if I really want to, I could just come in here and I could dismiss the crew member that I already have and get him. And the dismissed crew member will go back to the little port area back there, and he will essentially just stay there until I either leave, in which case he's going to disappear permanently, or until I unlock the skill to get more, and then I can come back and recruit him back, or I can switch back to him as well. Let's go ahead and grab that. That potion just makes me move faster. It's not really that amazing. I do wish there were like little tooltips whenever you gathered something that told you what it did, because the icon, while interesting, does not really give as much information as you would probably like. So yeah, kind of like half-assed little thing there. And I don't think there's a way to really view your inventory. Yeah, you just press start and stuff like that. And yeah, there is no way to just view the inventory and get like a tooltip to pop up on it. Mouse control, not really there at all, so you couldn't just mouse over it. I do find definitely controlling with the controller to be the easiest way, because you have left joystick for movement, right joystick for cameras. Overall, I think the game itself is well designed. The actual like in-area gameplay is very smooth. The programming, I have not had a single bug the entire time I've been playing it. So that is something nice to say about it. It's bug-free, and it flows very smoothly. The controls, the camera's nice. Oh, and we just spawned some of those pig guys, and we just need to push them back. And you notice they're not aiming for our little friend. Generally, only AoEs and those frogs will get them, and you can get stun locked by those guys, if you were wondering. Just all of a sudden had to fight them like that. So it's not a bad game. I'd wait for it's on sale and only buy it if you're really interested in something to kill several hours on. As for me, I am more of a completionist player, so that might be part of the reason why it's taking me so long to get through areas. I want to cut every bush. I want to smash every barrel. I want to find every treasure. I want to find all the gold I can so I'm stronger later on. And that really, really slows me down, which is probably a personal issue, but it's still something that means this is going to take a long time. And the reason why... Oh, there's the final enemy I was looking to show off. Oh, he's going to smash the ground and probably smash that guy. Yeah, see, he's going to beat the tar out of him. And if your little friend dies, it's permanent, by the way. So you don't want to let that happen. Permadeath is a thing. If you die without a Halo member, you actually will be permanently dead yourself and have to start over. But there is no just save at the current spot in your current run kind of effect there. You see that there's no save there. There's no save back on the ship. I would love the ability to just say, hey, I would like to stop for the day after completing this one area and just come back to the same run. I don't need to start the run fresh or anything like that. He's going to die. Oh, nope. They're going to kill themselves. Lovely. Enemies do damage each other themselves, by the way. So that is fairly nice, I guess. So team damage is universal. But I would like the ability to just say, I just want to do one area today. I just want to play through one map. I want to find all the secrets on that map and then just save my progress and move on. But that's just not here. And I think that's probably my biggest gripe about it is you can't just pick up and play it unless you want to just lose all your progress or just have very minuscule amounts of progress. I hate it when games do that. You need the option to be able to play it for 15 minutes, not an hour, or not have to leave it running if you actually want to get that full progress on there. Even Rogue Legacy allows it to an extent. I mean, it saves your character's progress. You can spawn back into the same castle, albeit without all the little perks that you found in that like 10-15 minute run. Well, or in some cases 30-45 minute runs, but that was just me taking forever. Ow. Yeah, we might bite it, but these first areas are not too hard once you figured out the patterns. But I think that gives you a pretty good idea of how this game plays. Obviously, it gets a little bit more difficult in future areas and stuff like that. You'll have more kind of like encounters, more difficult maps. This is a medium difficulty map. This is kind of like average for the area. You run into a handful of enemies. You do have these automated little turrets that just killed that guy for me. Ow. But I think it could definitely use with a little bit more incremented saving. And other than that, I approve of it. It's not a bad game. So that's been another episode of GamerFi. We've showed you about 20 minutes, well, maybe 15 minutes of this game. And we've only cleared one area, so you can kind of guess how slowly I end up moving through them. We can look here and see that I've revealed most of the map. Let's go ahead and zoom down there. Yeah, I've revealed pretty much all the map. There's multiple tablet spots. Shows you on there. There's a key spot and stuff like that. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions about the game, feel free to ask down in the comments. I do play a bit more of these off-screen just so I'll have more answers for you. Sometimes the devs will contact me and give me information that I may have missed. So yeah, questions in the comments are definitely welcome. I will not ignore them. I do respond to all comments eventually. So yeah, keep gaming, have fun, peace out. This has been Alzorath. Bye.